Welcome to the news and why it matters. I am Sara Gonzales, joined today by Mr. Glenn Beck himself.
Hi.
Are you going to say I'm Glenn Beck or?
I don't have to. You just said it. But hi.
I'm confused. Which
I'm
one's
Glenn
he?
Beck.
There you go.
You're Glenn?
I'm Glenn.
Okay. All right,
you
thank
are?
Wait, I haven't introduced you yet.
My bad.
Sorry,
Okay.
Hold on. Jason Howerton, special guest, part of BlazeTV crew. Thanks for being here,
Say,
Jason.
hi.
Hi. So I don't have that.
You're going to need to work on that for next
I
time,
know.
Jason.
Okay. So watch him. He's going to be good at this.
And Andrew Heaton from Something's Off with Andrew Heaton.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he's
You're going to need to work on yours. I don't know.
Yeah, mine. That was
No,
a little.
it was creepy.
That was
creepy.
like that. That was last call at the bar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was not a good.
Yeah, that was like.
That was. I acknowledge that. Yeah, I need to work on
So
that
it's
one.
now just you and I.
I'm the only one here.
There's
so,
no other choice.
Glenn, what's the top story for you?
I would say the most important story of possibly my lifetime is beginning to develop, and that's abortion. But I know we're going to talk about that because somebody else has that. I want to add to that the deep fakes.
Okay, Jason.
Definitely abortion and how the left has taken me from being a moderate pro-life guy to basically a pro-life activist. That's how far they're pushing me on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Andrew.
I'm going to talk about football, my favorite conversational topic.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with the big game?
It does.
Okay.
The Super Bowl's coming up.
Don't say that. You're not supposed to say that. That's NFL license.
Wait, really?
You
Yes.
have to call it the big game, and that's the only thing about.
Did I just bring down the
big game.
Blaze from,
Yeah.
from that? I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean
hate
to.
that.
It's ridiculous.
I hate that.
It's ridiculous.
Wait, you can't even comment on it?
No, you can comment on it, but you're not allowed to call
say
it
that.
the SB. You have to call it the big game.
Wait a minute. When did we lose the free speech thing with football? When was that like?
When they said that's a trademark,
Okay.
and you are not allowed to call anything. That's why you'll see, start watching commercials. You'll see them all say, hey, you're going to be watching the big game. That's why.
I will add this to my tirade. This will be
Thank you.
incorporated into my rant.
You learn something new here every day at Blaze TV. Before we get into today's stories, want to thank our sponsor, Riduzone. So I know, like, this is kind of a delicate subject.
No, it's not. You talk about it all the time.
Okay.
You talk about it all the time.
Well, a lot of Americans
so bring it on out.
a lot of Americans have a lot of weight to lose. Not naming any names.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Looking at you, Iowa.
All of a sudden, this has just gotten very personal, very
Shots
targeted.
fired.
I just said
It's
I
Iowa.
want
It's
to
the
be
people who go to
delicate.
the Iowa State Fair and me. I hear it. I hear it. I got it.
Okay.
You should hear her talking about Dutch
I
people. She
know.
loves Dutch people. They're so skinny.
There is nothing worse than a reformed smoker or a reformed fat person.
Okay, I don't deserve that. I worked very hard to not be fat
as
anymore.
a former fat person with you, we
Thank
stand
you.
together.
Thank
don't
you.
listen to
Steven,
them.
show my picture, please.
There is a skinny guy inside of me clawing to get out, and
Look,
I'm
you can see
keeping him.
before and after right here. So that was me before, the number 10. This is me after. I've been there, people.
How much do you weigh? How much did you weigh?
I weighed, I don't want to say.
Come on.
Like 215 pounds.
215 pounds. Wow,
did. I
that
just
is
said that on air.
that is a dream come true weight.
4 stone. I don't know how much stone.
Okay, we've gotten way off track already. It's the beginning of the show. However, let me tell you about Riduzone. It works for me. It can work for you. It helps me maintain. So I lost the weight, but it's hard because you do the yo-yo diets and you go up and down, and food tastes good, right? And we
Better than yo-yos.
We have a lot of bad food here in America. So Riduzone,
Iowa.
they've taken all of the good stuff in olive oil, popped it into a capsule so it helps boost your metabolism, helps you feel full, reduces your appetite so you're not just craving all of the bad things, Taco Bell, all that junk. Go to riduzone.com right now and save 30% off of a 3-month supply using promo code THEBLAZE. $1.39 a day. You can invest that much in your health if you've got weight to lose. riduzone.com.
Can I tell you something? Every time she says yo-yo diet, Tommy Smothers gets another 10 cents.
Oh, nice. I thought she was referring
You're not
to.
supposed to say that.
I just assumed it was like a yo-yo ma thing.
Oh
where
my
you
gosh.
played
Yeah,
cello.
no, don't say it.
You two together, I'm gonna have to separate you.
I'm telling you.
I'm the teacher right now, and I'm gonna need to separate you.
All
two.
right, okay, all right.
All right, I want to get to, Jason, your topic, all of the abortion laws, what's going on there first. So, Jason, the Virginia law, I assume, is what you're talking about.
Yes.
So I know.
And New York.
Yes.
And Vermont.
Yeah.
And was it Rhode Island or New Hampshire? There's another one. I think it's Rhode Island. There's 4 of them now.
It'll be a domino, is the
Yes.
bottom line.
So the Virginia governor commented on this bill that is proposed right now, very similar to the one that's already passed in New York and Vermont and the others that you were talking about. And he made those controversial comments that we have if you do want to play them. And then today, I believe one of the Democrats that was backing the bill came out and was challenged and said, okay, wait a second, I didn't actually read this bill and I don't actually support it anymore.
Okay. And she is pro-life, pro-choice.
Pro-choice, yes.
And I want you to know, because this is the thing online, people are all saying, that's not true, it's not in the bill. I want you to watch the video. If we play it, you watch the video, he's reading it. He's reading from notes on what this bill means. And you see him.
The governor?
Looking down. The governor's looking down, and he's reading notes. So he's either got the bill or he's reading bullet points that were prepared for him.
Yeah. And matter of fact, before we get into this discussion, Jason, I know you have a lot to say. Let's go ahead and play the governor talking about this abortion bill in Virginia right now.
When we talk about third trimester abortions, these are done with the consent of obviously the mother, with the consent of the physicians, more than one physician, by the way. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities, there may be a fetus that's non-viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
You know the most evil part of that is that he says infant. And they're not even pretending like it's anything else. It's an infant.
Is he referring to a non-viable infant? Because if it was like an infant without a brain or something, that would change the...
Well, right, but then you don't have to make the decision if it's non-viable.
It's not viable. There are children that are born that, and the doctors know they're only going to live for a couple of minutes. Okay, great. Keep the child comfortable. Put the child in the hands of the mother and comfort that child as it slips away. No. They're saying... we keep it comfortable and then we talk about what are we going to do. You want to kill it? Not kill it. It's up to you. You want to kill it? Not kill it. You don't kill it. It's no longer part of her body. The cord has been cut. That is an individual that has rights now. You don't talk to the mother anymore about killing the child. It's born. It's a child. Period.
And as a doctor, they have every responsibility to do everything in there, even if they have a 5% chance to live, they have to do everything to keep that baby alive. So we're talking about babies who are born who maybe they do have a defect or they do have a abnormality.
But that's not even required.
It's not even required.
Not even required.
Mental health.
Yes, they can do that with a full-grown, a full infant born that's healthy. We can keep it comfortable for a while. If you want to, are you sure you want to kill it? You sure you want to kill it? I can't handle the mental stress of a baby. I've just lost my job and my husband isn't around and I can't do it.
You know what they would say to you? They would say, that's extreme. And then what I would say in response would be, but that's what the words say. Like, words matter. Yes. So that could happen. So that's the point. It's not that it would be rare or that maybe it never happens, but it could happen.
So structure the bill differently so that it wouldn't include that.
Right.
Correct.
And if he did, and you want to talk about rare, you know what would be rare? A child that is born grossly deformed and you had no idea.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of tests that are running. You have no idea that that child is grossly deformed beforehand. So it's just the same. It's really the same. Yeah, that's an extreme way for that to happen. That's probably rarely going to happen. And maybe it would rarely happen that she has a full baby that she just, everybody else would love and would love to have it as adoption, and she decides to kill it. I don't care how rare it is on either case. It's wrong. Right. It's murder.
You know where this is going? It's very obvious. We're going the path of Iceland, right? They have cured Down syndrome.
Yes.
They've cured it, right? By the same way Hitler tried to cure the Jews, right? By murdering them. So we're getting into this weird, after they're born, abnormality talk that is really horrifying. And it feels like we're like a hair away really from like losing touch with reality of how the sanctity of life really. Like I feel like we're like that close.
We are.
Because if you can do that after a child is born because they're abnormal or they're not the way you think they should be.
Right, define defect.
Right, who gets to define that? Is it it's one doctor? They want one doctor to define it?
I have always had a problem. I've always had this doubt in my mind. My daughter was born with cerebral palsy. She had several strokes at birth, okay? If there was a test that said she's gonna have strokes and this is what her life is going to be like. They told me she would never feed herself, she would never walk, she would never understand language, she would never talk, okay? She would be a vegetable in a bed. That's what they told me after she was alive. And I always was so grateful that nobody said that to me when I'm 18 years old. I haven't really formulated who I am. If the doctor would have said that to me in the first trimester, I might have said, you know what, this child's going to have zero life. We should abort this child. Well, you know my child. Yeah. You know her. She's fine. She works here. She works here. How dare you? How dare you? So now we're giving people the right, even if I was freaking out, but my daughter was born and having strokes, and they told me what they told me then, I still wouldn't have killed her then. Abortion in the first trimester, maybe as an 18-year-old, I might have been so scared and the doctor could have talked me into it. But no doctor would say, you know what, should we just make her comfortable and kill her? No, what are you, some sort of a monster? You couldn't do that. Who could do that but a monster? Andrew, you pushed back a little bit. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I'll push back a little bit. I clearly haven't followed this as closely as you guys. What I've looked at, from what I can tell, is the policy ramifications of this bill, which won't happen. It had like two co-sponsors in the Senate. It didn't get out of committee. But my understanding is that infanticide is already against the law in Virginia. You can't do partial birth abortions, nor can you kill any infants post-birth. That's not up for discussion. It's not part of the bill either. What seemed to be distinctive about the bill was it removed a requirement to get an ultrasound if you're going to have an abortion, which is on the books in Virginia. It made it so that if you were going to have a third trimester abortion, as of now, you can get a third trimester abortion in Virginia. That's already legal. What it did was it made it so that you didn't have to get 3 doctors to sign off on it. You had to get 1 doctor signing off on it. But I don't think it's really fundamentally changing the nature of abortion in Virginia. It seems to me to be...
It is in New York.
Okay.
It has definitely in New York. I mean, when you can kill a baby third trimester as you're dilating and the doctor is like, okay, push. No.
Last chance.
Kill it.
Just out of curiosity, like if there were if there was a very high chance of the woman dying in this scenario, would you?
No, hang on. You still, because you can't do partial birth abortion. So what they have to do now is at that age, they have to inject poison into the child. Then you have to vaginally birth the child anyway. You have to deliver dead. Anyway. So you have to kill the child and then give birth to a child. Tell me how that works. If there's a problem, you have to, at that point, you just have to do a cesarean section. You take that baby out, save the baby, save the mother. It's too late. You're getting either a cesarean or you're delivering vaginally at that time. You can't do anything else. So this the mother's physical health is bullcrap. It's absolute bullcrap at that point, okay? There's only, what they did is they added mental, familial health. What the hell is familial health? Well, my husband isn't around and I just don't know. My mental health, it's too much of a stress on me, I can't. So it's better for you if we go in, poison the child, and then you have to push through a birth and you'll see a dead body of a baby come out of you. Oh my gosh, that sounds healthy.
Yeah, and I think, Andrew, the issue here is that the way that the wording has been changed is that it's not in the event that the mother's life is at risk.
I will say there was a line in there where they did add that in.
And honestly, my bigger issue is where the conversation is heading.
Right.
It's heading in a really scary direction. And I feel like with progressives, the way they do this is they'll come out a little too far and they'll be like, they're not quite ready for as enlightened as we are yet on abortion, and they'll pull it back, and then it'll rear its head again. I don't like where we're going.
I don't think that the average Democrat wants this. I really don't. This is so far in.
Third trimester abortion tends to be a pretty consistent thing with the American electorate. It's like it's a baby at that point, even if you're pretty pro-choice.
But what's truly frightening to me is on the right and the left. I talked to Bill O'Reilly today. He watches ratings like a hawk. He said, Glenn, every time anybody's doing anything on abortion, the ratings go down. Nobody wants to watch it on either side. This is beyond abortion talk, okay? This is infanticide. And when this started happening in Germany, the German people stood up to Hitler. The people who voted for Hitler said, no, you can't do that. So he started doing it in secret. He went to the public and said, you are right, we're compassionate, we don't want to do that, keep killing them in the basement. And the doctors and the nurses killed them in the T4 project, and no one knew about it. But when they did find out about it early on, when they did it in the open, the people rose up. Where the hell are we?
Yeah. All right, back in a minute. Before we get into deepfakes, I want to thank our sponsor, Cosmo Hurts Kids. You know, if you actually have children and the government doesn't propose that you kill them after you have them, growing up in this world is much different, I feel, than when we were children, and our children are exposed to a lot of disgusting things all around us that we were not exposed to. One of them being Cosmopolitan magazine. You know, you go to the checkout stand and just on the cover, my 6-year-old starts to read it and I'm like, no, honey, no, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know that till you're like 45.
She needs to know 19 ways to please her guy.
No.
Particularly if they're surprising.
You're making my point for me, Andrew.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes.
So Victoria Hearst, who is a member of, or a family member of the Hearst family, Hearst Corporation actually owns Cosmopolitan magazine. So this is getting to be awkward, right? She is a member of the family, and she is even saying this is enough. She doesn't want to censor their free speech. She doesn't want them to change what they're doing, except that she wants the government to apply the law that they have to state that their magazine is harmful to minors.
What they used to keep them underneath the counter. When I was growing up, you'd have to ask for a Playboy. You had to be an adult. You asked for a Playboy, and it came from underneath the counter. Now they just wrap it in plastic.
Yeah.
That's what they do, and they put it up.
And then they're all torn because people.
Torn. Yeah. Right.
But that's all that she's asking for. To me, it's very, very, very just like, yes, there's no reason why this should not already be happening. She's on a campaign to do it. Help her out. Go to CosmoHurtsKids.com. All right, Glenn, deepfakes.
This is something I started talking about a few years ago because I'm way into technology, and I cannot impress upon people how you will not, this will sound crazy today, but in 2025, you will not recognize your country, the way life is, the things around you. You just will not. In the next 6 to 10 years, it's going to be crazy and good. Lots of good stuff coming too. But we have to have conversations because we're about to hit this new world blind, unprepared. Deepfakes. Deepfakes, we started showing them on this network, I don't even know, 4 years ago, and they looked ridiculously bad. And I said, I'm telling you, this is going to be a problem, and it's going to cause wars. It will lose or win elections. And in the end, truth will be gone. I just was talking to Stu this morning. In like 1997, I said, they're going to get so good at manipulating video that there's going to come a time around 2020 where you will not believe your eyes. You will not be able to trust your eyes. I know that because I followed Ray Kurzweil for a long time. It's here. Now, 3 years ago, it looked bad. A year ago, we had the studio crew. I brought some fake videos down, and I said, which one's the deep fake? And we couldn't tell in real time, but they could not get faces right. This is the latest released yesterday. Now watch this.
Who is your favorite and least favorite housewife
That's Jennifer
of all
Lawrence's
cities?
body with the deep fake
my favorite
of
is probably
Steve
Lisa
Buscemi's
Vanderpump.
face.
My least favorite.
Now, just when I didn't think
I don't wanna
Jennifer
have to
Lawrence could get any
say,
more
I mean,
arousing. The internet.
I don't want to have to say,
Landon
because who
fixed
knows
it
when
for
you're
me.
going
Good
to
job,
run into
Internet.
these people, you know?
I mean, look at that.
Jennifer, over here to your right.
I hope I don't. I hope I'm never in that, like, situation where I'm like, all the housewives are here. Anyway.
If you
Actually,
didn't
I
know,
take that
and the
back. I
reason
do
why
want to be
they
in
put
that
Steve
situation.
Buscemi on there is so it's so clear. You know, that's not Jennifer Lawrence.
What
only
you're
wear-
saying is he doesn't quite resemble Jennifer Lawrence.
He only
Right.
wears blue dresses. This is a
Right,
well-known
yeah,
Steve Buscemi
okay.
thing. He does not wear orange.
Use him because it's such a cavern in between those two that you know. However, if you didn't know Steve Buscemi's face and you didn't know if that was just somebody with a different background behind it talking, I believe all of us would say, "Wow, that is
unfortunate-looking woman."
that is an unfortunate-looking woman," right? You would not know that that's a deep fake. It's not even prime time yet. The intel community is freaked out right now because deep fakes, this is at a private level. They released this algorithm on Reddit. So now anybody can do this. Okay? Doesn't take a genius and it doesn't take Google servers. This is not something from Google servers. So imagine what a state could do. Imagine what Russia could do. Imagine what China could do.
They could completely,
and they will.
They could completely alter how we see Steve Buscemi. We will not know when Steve Buscemi is being truthful or not.
Right.
Do you think they could expand this to other people?
Yes, I do.
There's no digital signature or
yeah.
footprint that's on there that
Absolutely.
that you can
Yes.
see.
Professionals will be able to tell, but that doesn't matter.
Well, think about how
Imagine-
quickly fake news goes viral now.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, like just in an instant.
Look at the kid on the steps.
Yeah.
Okay? We had all the video that wasn't true. But once it's dropped, so imagine China, Russia, decides to affect the election. They drop something just before the voting begins. Well, it might take a day
To sort
for
through,
people
yeah.
to figure it out. But once that's been seen, you can't unsee it. Think of this. If in the day of deep fakes, which will happen by 2020, I promise you, by the election in 2020, deep fake, which is a word now that most people don't even know, only people who really pay attention know deep fake. You ask people now, 99% don't know what it is. You ask the week of the election what a deep fake is, and every single voter and every single person in America will know that term. It's going to happen. And imagine in a world where they're not doing something crazy like Steve Buscemi on Jennifer Lawrence, but you're taking somebody who everybody assumes is corrupt, Hillary Clinton, and you're just leaning it. You're not making it crazy. For instance, Access Hollywood. In the world of deep fakes, we didn't even see him say that, and we know. And when he said, "Oh, that was a fake tape," we all knew it wasn't a fake tape. So it works both ways. You can release something, and people could say it's a deep fake, and it's not a deep fake.
Truth almost becomes so obscure that you don't know what's.
No truth.
Yeah, as there is no truth. It is the end of truth. It's the end of believing your eyes and ears.
I feel like we're already almost there.
Yes, we are.
You add deepfake on that.
We got to take a break, guys.
I'm
but we can
Steve
continue
Buscemi.
this.
You have to have.
Yeah, we're deep faking.
We're going to continue this conversation in overtime, but if you have not already done so, go to BlazeTV.com. Sign up. You can use promo code NEWS for $10 off of a year-long subscription. Got all the big names, so much great content. Chad Prather just debuted his
Really
new
good show.
It's amazing. BlazeTV.com, and we will see you in overtime.